Let's jump to this next story because I've been sitting on this one. We got this from the Daily Mail. AOC says that gas stoves are linked to reduced cognitive performance in spat with Republican Ronnie Jackson after he said he would never give his up. You may have heard the news. The Biden administration wants to ban gas stoves. This is a psyop. Sort of. Here's what happens. The Biden administration Consumer Protection Group literally says on TV, we want to potentially ban gas stoves. CNN and the Washington Post then report definitively they want to ban gas stoves. Huge backlash ensues. Politicians and personalities like AOC come out and say, well, gas stoves are bad and there's indoor pollution. Then the backlash gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and they look really stupid and they're pissing people off. So they issue a statement saying, no. We never wanted to ban gas stoves. You're all crazy. Snopes then issues a story. Does the Biden administration want to ban gas stoves? False. And now anybody who claimed that they did is going to look stupid. They're reversing. Someone posted on Twitter, it's a trial balloon. They say something, and if the backlash is too big, they walk it back.
Yeah, same with the invasion of Syria. That's what Obama did. Because people were like, hell no, we're not going to war in Syria. They didn't invade.
Mm-hmm. They like to see how far they can get or what they can get away with, you know.
Or it's just they tried to do it and they were forced to pull back.
Right.
So it's like that story we talk about where eBay had a yellow website and then wanted to be white. But then everybody got mad when they changed it from yellow to white. So then they changed it back. And then every day they slowly incremented the shade 1 degree. And then a year later, the website was white. Nobody cared.
Really?
I think Cortez said that they're going to, AOC said that they're going to not ban gas stoves, but start only after 2030 creating electric stoves from here on out. And no new apartments will have anything other than electric stoves.
Well, many states have already implemented a lot of these very similar policies. I think New York and California already have it, where if you're building a building, you cannot have a gas stove inside of it. So that already is very disproportionately attacking a lot of ethnic communities, especially that make their own food in their own kind of specific way, using a fire in order to do so. And when you use electric, this is going to mean that we're going to, of course, use more electricity, which is going to hurt the grid, which California already is dealing with a very serious problem with. Why are they doing this? Are they trying to deliberately destroy our energy sector?
Yes.
Also,
I like electric better than gas.
I like gas better because you can pick up the pan and turn it sideways and get heat all over the pan to get a more even cook.
No, you can do that with electric.
No, because if you lift it up, you lose the heat off electric.
You can turn it sideways and you can...
You got to keep touching it, though.
And the problem with... have you ever felt near the electric stove?
It's not hot enough.
The problem with gas, in my opinion, is that the fire moves and it creates an uneven cook no matter what you do.
That's fun. That's the fun part
You
of
see,
it.
that's
working
it.
with the fire.
See, I like a consistent, stable, even cook, and you like chaos.
I think that it's more consistent with fire because you can get the sides and stuff.
I like the chaos. I'm with you, Ian.
When my pan is on full contact with the electric, the bacon cooks perfectly all around.
I think for more exquisite long-term cooks, you want to be able to mediate your temperature at will. Like in a split second, you want to go from...
You can do that on electric. What are you talking about?
Well, you got to go... You want it 70 degrees cooler, then you want it 45 degrees cooler over here, then 50. And you want to... I don't think so, because if you pick it up to shake it around, you lose the heat contact.
You have a flat disk of heat that you can move in any direction you want. With fire, the fire's going all crazy and all over the place. You have no idea.
The point is you got to maintain physical contact with the electric element, because if you lift it up...
No, you don't.
Yeah, otherwise you...
But if you're working with like woks, right, which a lot of people in the Asian communities are, you need a fire. You can't have an electric.
Okay, fair point.
A problem is that people will use wood. They'll end up using dirtier things than gas if they don't have access to flame. That's what I'm concerned about.
Yeah. Do you want good Chinese food or crappy Chinese food? I want good Chinese food. I want that wok in there. I want that rice prepared nicely.
Ian makes a good point. People in rural areas without access to gas will start burning wood.
Yeah,
and that is so dirty.
Yeah, that's what happened in South Africa, man. All the gas became... I don't remember the whole story, but basically people started using fire, and it depleted all of the natural forests in the area because they just used it to make fire to warm their houses.
And the carbon. It's going to put all that carbon back in the
which is terrible for your lungs. And on top of that, if your power goes out and you have an electric stove, good luck getting some heat to light a fire to warm yourself up if it's the middle of the winter. At least back in the day, you had a gas thing. You could get the element on, light a candle on fire.
Yeah, for me, this is happening in order to push the kind of digitization of everything. To fully have a technocratic society, you need everyone dependent on technology. And if you're able to cut off that technology, you're able to control people more. And cutting people's ability to heat their own food, by just simply clicking a button, that could be easily done with this new policy. And I think that's why they're really doing it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I personally prefer electric, but I don't want them to eliminate the gas because of this reason exactly. I mean, I really don't think we're far from like a social credit score, you know, what we see in China. Like, and I really think with the push for electric everything, electric cars especially, you know, and now this and everything else.
Oh, you liked gays for groomers, no cooking for you for a week. Oh, your Tesla's also going to be
gays
off too.
Against groomers, by the way.
Sorry, gays.
Gays against.
Proper grooming.
Goodness.
Let's talk about grooming.
Well, so
no,
if-
you know
if
what?
they-
I
if they-
tell groomers, like actual pet groomers, that they should just refer to themselves as pet stylists from now on because
If they ban gas stoves nationwide, that means rural people won't have access, and a lot of those people have gas tanks at their houses, which would put their cooking on the grid, and the grid can be controlled by external forces.
Yeah.
So it's just centralization.
Just like electric cars, you know. I think that
Yeah, you'll
that's
never
also
be able to
another
leave.
reason.
I wanna
you
get
have you have a kill switch, which a lot of
Exactly.
governments are working on, especially in Europe right now, where they could just turn off your car whenever they want
that's
to.
so scary.
It's freakish, dude.
Yeah.
I want to get a heating element on my phone on the new Android model where I can, like a cigarette lighter, push a button and it'll heat up.
Oh, they have those. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think they have those. I think I saw that.
Get
Pretty
me off
cool.
the grid. Of course, they can shut my phone off if they wanted.
That's
Well,
how they
but-
track you, Ian, with the cell phone.
But you can also get solar. The problem with solar systems is they're also hooked to the grid.
Yeah.
So if this system, like if anything did happen where they're trying to control everything, you'd have to create your own electrical grid, like small one off the grid. Like we have the van that has its own electrical system. I can plug into it without having to worry about anything. But even our solar system, which is like we generate our own electricity with solar panels, we have to get permission from the grid to activate.
Can you plug the RV into the grid as well as have it off grid?
Yes.
That's cool.
Yes, shore power. So you can actually sync the battery up to the grid if you want, and that doesn't you don't need permission for that. You just plug it in. But like a big solar system, before we can even turn it on, the government has to come and do an inspection and all that stuff.
I know methane's dirty. I know that, and you don't want to breathe in direct methane. Obviously, you cook with a ventilation system, but I mean, what's the other option is burning wood. I mean, that's the reality of it is.
Everybody's yelling at me saying that gas is the way to go. I'm just saying when I'm cooking bacon, I got this nice even cook on the bacon. It's done super quick. I don't got to worry about it.
I want to give a special
I
shout
was
out
trying
to
to cook-
Chef Andrew Gruel
He's
for being
awesome. He's cool.
extremely vocal about this and making noise, going on TV, talking
he
about
was
this.
talking about this on the show before
Yeah.
this even became an issue. If you remember that time he came on the broadcast, it was a great podcast. If you haven't listened to it, check it out. How do you say his name again?
Andrew Gruel, I believe.
How do you spell it?
Gruel. I
yeah,
think.
that was a great podcast, and he was warning about that very specific issue, and now it's here.
He's a professional chef.
Yeah, he's awesome.
That would be chefgruel.com.
And then he cooked for us.
Oh, that was
Which
great.
I enjoyed.
We
more
have
than
we have
anything else.
electric downstairs, and I'm always sad about it. I'm always wishing I had an open flame.
Well,
I haven't opened a flame in my
make
RV.
We'll make a brick wood oven.
Yeah.
At Freedomistan.
That's how you do
And we'll
it.
throw some wood in there and then
Some charcoal,
wood.
a little
Natural wood. You'll go to the forest. You'll get your own wood.
get a little carbon.
There's probably a bunch of trees that already fell down. You'll chop them up and you'll do the work, Ian,
I'm into it.
to convert the energy to
I got to
cook
get a
your food.
really nice chainsaw. You ever use a chainsaw?
I haven't, but you know what? This is a random side note. I used to be, well, not long ago, I was really into bushcraft. So like this all sounds really fun to me. I never got into it, but like I would watch endless hours of bushcraft videos on YouTube. It was like relaxing to me. And I was thinking like, why am I so into this? And I think maybe my subconscious was like to prepare you, like you might need these skills sometime in the near future, but
Yeah.
no, but that sounds fun to me. I'd be totally game for that.
I was watching The Island with, what is it, Bear Grylls. Did you guys ever see that show a couple years ago? The Island, where they,
I don't
or
know.
something
I've-
called The Island, where they go 12, 14 people
Oh.
on an island trying to survive, men versus women. Last night I was just pouring over episode after episode of it. Same thing. I've got this fascination with the survival life, although I'm
There's
Yeah.
the really
eternally
famous
grateful for the things I have.
Exactly.
the really famous ones where they have the men and women separate.
Yeah, that's the.
And then
yeah.
the men,
Naked
like
and
within
afraid.
10 minutes, have like a functioning society with like a.
That's how I
distillery.
fell into it. I was watching,
And
like,
the women,
Andrew Tate
and the women
stuff.
are lost walking around.
That's
crying.
transphobic.
But this is I'm not like, there's
kidding.
numerous episodes of these shows, and it's like
It's almost like there are differences between the sexes.
it's like the
Weird.
guys have like a cabana and they're like
crazy.
serving drinks.
Yeah.
There was one I watched. I think it was Bear Grylls where like the women kept going in circles
That's the one I watched last night.
and they were crying
For days.
Yeah, for
and
days.
They couldn't find their base camp, so the girls at the base camp were just like, they've abandoned
Oh
us.
my god.
For twice or three times.
They were
went in
going
these
in
giant
circles. What
circles.
the-
But what got me there was I was watching Andrew Tate stuff about misogyny, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, are men and women even as good at survival?" And then I was like, "Well, let's watch this thing."
So you watch some Andrew Tate content?
I've been really diving deep on the Andrew Tate stuff lately. Destiny and Pearl. Just Pearly Things did a episode about it today that came out. Did you guys see
I
that?
have like no interest in the Andrew Tate saga.
What do you get? What's your vibe from the distance?
I mean, I think he's a, piece of, I don't know I can't swear. Whatever.
Piece of work.
I don't think he's a good guy. I don't like him. I don't like his method. Obviously, I'm anti-Matrix, his whole thing with the Matrix, which I think the way he just markets that is very corny. But I just feel bad that this is one of the role models, the most prominent role models for like young men in our society. Like, I just think they deserve better. But I'm not a fan personally, and I don't keep up with the drama of it.
Right.
Personally.
I'm with you. I want to like him because of some of the stuff he said, but
right.
it just is
broken.
devastating.
I agree with some of the stuff he said. I don't like him. I think he's a sleazy character. Obviously, he's stringing these young men along, promising them great things, like to make something great out of themselves. And honestly, I did watch one video kind of on his tenants program or whatever, like the Matrix. I don't even know what it's called, but like you join this program and he's basically, promising to teach you how to achieve financial freedom and like own 10 Lamborghinis like him or whatever. And it's basically just like a basic, Shopify 101 course,
Yeah.
pretty much.
and like it teaches you drop shipping, which you could learn for free on YouTube in like a day.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't like people that take advantage of, people.
Do you think he should be in prison,
profit.
or do you want to wait for the evidence until you think that?
Oh, definitely evidence. Wait for the
Yeah,
evidence. I
right.
mean, I think that in order to hold him, like he says that the Matrix is against him. I don't know. I think that, I do remember he put out that he was on some podcast or whatever and kind of primered it that like, they're coming after me just because I'm so successful and I'm breaking the Matrix and whatever. So they're gonna arrest me. I think he probably knew that something was coming down the pipeline. And so he put that out as kind of like, to set the stage for it basically. And like, he didn't do anything wrong because they're just out to get him. Like he planted that idea, but I'm sure there is evidence. Like I'm sure there is something, but I am not going to judge him until
Right.
that's fully known.
Exactly.
I think he admitted to a lot of it, which is like, I don't know if you would call what he admitted to sex trafficking. I'm not sure the exact definition of sex trafficking, but if you invite a woman out to work for you, or you invite a woman out because she's in love with you, and then she gets there and you're like, by the way, why don't you start doing this cam work for me? Is that a
No,
thing?
that's not what it is. It's that you say, I love you, come work with me, we're going to do this thing. And then when she gets there, you're like, if you don't do it, I'm kicking you out and taking your money away, forcing her into the position.
Pull the rug. It's called the
But here's the issue I see with Tate is because I've been looking at a lot of stuff as well. And some of it, I really do feel like, you guys ever see that movie, The Life of David Gale?
Yeah.
It's a
I
good
love that movie.
It's really good.
That is such an underrated movie.
Yes, I
Back
know.
when Kevin Spacey it was okay to
That's
like
right.
him.
That's right.
He was so great in that.
All right, so basically what happens is this professor is at a party. He sees this this young woman who got like expelled or something. And then she's like, let's go in the bathroom and hook up. And then she says like, be rough with me. And then he's like, bang her. And then she's like, rip off my panties. And then he rips them off. And then she's like, yeah. And then she scratches him and he's like, yeah. Then she says he raped her, ripped her clothes off, and she scratched him in self-defense, making it look like she planned the whole thing. So the reason I bring that up is not that I'm saying Andrew Tate is necessarily being falsely accused, but I'm wondering, when you look at a lot of these quotes, and I'm like, it sounds like they were kink playing. When he's like, when he says things that are so over, like I was reading one quote where it's like, according to a transcript, he was saying like, oh yes, baby, I enjoy raping you. This is so good. I was like,
No rapist would actually
that doesn't sound real, man.
No.
It's a little incriminating, don't you say?
Right, but like there's that viral video where apparently he's like beating a woman, and the woman said that they were just like they were it was kink.
Yeah.
Like she wanted him to be rough,
Right.
and she was totally into it. But what they do is they take it out of context and they make it seem like you shouldn't be allowed to do those things. And I'm not trying to defend the guy saying he didn't do these things. I'm just saying some of them are so over the top. I have to wonder if like he's just playing.
Oh, if there's ever going to be false allegations against Andrew Tate, now is the time for them to come
Yeah,
out.
definitely.
And well, some of the people, what they're suggesting is that one of the girls that was working for him got really loud mouth, smashing stuff up kind of person, and then she went and kind of caused this big scene, and then other people kind of piled on That's one suggestion. But, you know,
Well, this has been an ongoing investigation since April, so we're going to see what the Romanian authorities kind of put out there. So far, I mean, we got some text messages from Vice that were, allegedly reduplicated. Who knows what the whole conversation was really about? What they only show Andrew texting, but not the responses. What was the response? What was the conversation? I'm waiting to find out more before making any kind of judgment calls. But whatever people think, both scenarios could be true here. It could be, the Matrix or whatever you call it, and he could be a bad guy. It could be both. It could be one of them. It could be neither of them. Who knows? Let's wait until we actually see the real evidence.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.